trap, I would learn all there is to know of our foe. A sound suggestion. Let us speak with these convictors, then, and temper our haste with a measure of caution. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Absolutely love it. French Janelot. What you got? Well, what do we have here? Hoping to join the esteemed ranks of the convictors, are we? The hard-eyed lad looks promising, but you have a frail look about you, boy. I'll give you 3 days here in the wilds to claim your corpse. I beg your pardon? Be not so quick to judge. I have seen this frail youth fell heretics with a flick of his wrist. And who are you to question my... By the fury! That all, Lance, is your dragoon himself graces our camp. Pray forgive my disrespect, sir. I am Genelot, leader of the convictors and fellow slayer of dragons. May I ask what winds, fair or foul, carry you to our humble camp? Ah, Lady Iceheart, is it? I know her by reputation, but I'm afraid I've seen naught of her or her people. That said, my own men can be somewhat lax when it comes to making reports. You may wish to question them yourselves. Ah, well, thank you. We shall. Then, Estinian, let us make our way through the camp and see what information is here to be had. Alpino, what you got? Surely one of these people have encountered heretics without hunting. Pray speak with as many as you can, Fen. Oh yeah, if it's console only, that'll do it. I remember how I remember you. How could I forget? You're the lad who was with the Azir Dragoons Company. Since you're here anyways, perhaps you might like to try your hand at a spot of hunting before you depart. See for yourself what life is like with us convictors. The Javanian horde is stronger than you might expect. Unless you've been at it for years, like I have, I think it prudent to start with something simple, and then work your way up to dragons. I suggest runes. Slay 3 of those, and then come back here. Consider it a warm-up. Yeah, making it a console exclusive really hurts a game's sales. Something for looking for heretics, you say? Why don't you go and bother Paraquay or someone? I have enough trouble keeping these preening fops fed and clothed as it is. It's not business of mine what folks do with themselves out there in the wilds. Ah, we found the quartermaster. It was just like, whatever. Alright, boorish bowman. Are there heretics in the area? I haven't the faintest idea. My heretic can pass under my nose, and I should be none the wiser. I hunt dragons, my dear fellow. Big ones? Forever do I scan the skies for signs of my prey. I care not for the miserable creatures that scurry upon the ground. Nay, I know of no heretics. Do you honestly expect me to keep track of every rat meow, Verimon, and baronet that wanders in and out of our camp? Well, Paraquay. Not much. Paraquay, what's going on? Some matters I can help you with, my lord. Heretics, is it? Well, never seen one myself, but that ain't to say I haven't heard a thing or two. We would be grateful for any information you can share with us. The gods know we've gleaned precious little from talking to the rest of these people. If it pleases my lord, I am Perquet, soldier by trade, though not much of one, if I'm honest. It weren't for the love of stabbing folk that I took up the spear, see? No, it was by order of the see of Sir Jeannelan's father. Still, as long as they keep paying me wages, I ain't fussy as to what they have me do. Not everyone's as patient as me, though. Plenty of the low-born lads who get pressed into service start grumbling before they've even seen their second battle. And once they've got to thinking how unfair it all is, it don't take much for the heretics to turn their heads. From what I hear, the simple promise of freedom tends to do it. And once they've got to thinking how unfair it is, it don't take much for the heretics to turn their heads. Oh yeah, okay. That may explain how Lady Isot was able to expand her following so swiftly. Sad to say, some mates of mine gobbled down the heretics' tripe and asked for seconds. Told me they were off to the Western Highlands to light the signal fire. That's how you let the heretics know you're serious about joining their ranks, apparently. Send up some purple smoke and the bastards come to you. Is that so? Why then, I am minded to start a fire. This also speeds us up. If we are to lure our foes to our position, then we must find a means of producing a signal of purple hue. As it so happens, I once heard of a tale of a trapper who dropped the hide of a woolly yak into his campfire. Aside from the terrible stench, the story also describes in detail how the smoke from the smothered flames was tinged with deep violet. You are a monster hunter of note, are you not, Fen? It should prove a trifling task for you to produce a number of hides. We may need to burn more than one to err the heretics' notice, before the heretics notice our beacon. Master Elfino, you and I shall gather wood for the fire. Aye, it will take us both to find enough dry fuel in this frozen wasteland. Let us meet again at the Dreaming Dragon with the fruits of our labor. Asthenion. 'Twould seem that collecting firewood is a new experience for Master Alpino. He must have been a privileged upbringing. Have you the hides we need? Here you go, bro.
Ah, I should have known it would be you. Word reached me of a struggle with a small but well-armed band of trespassers. Forgive my comrades their hostility. Few come here uninvited, and fewer still with good intent. Now, tell me why you are here.
Yeah, we want to speak with you, specifically.
So, you seek to stem the Dravanian tide with talk? A romantic notion. If you but knew the truth, the spark which lit the flames of this animosity, you would understand the futility of your quest. Shall I relate it to you? The sordid history my gift has shown me. That which the Holy See has taken such pains to suppress. 'Twas more than a millennium past when an Elizan tribe first sought to claim the lands of Kurthas as its home. Unfortunately for them, Kurthas was already home to dragonkind, and they were not inclined to make way for the invaders. Thus did a bloody war begin. A war which might well have rumbled on until one or the other side was exterminated, had it not been for the resolve of a single woman. That woman's name was Shiva. While those around her fought and died, she attempted to parley with the dragons, and in so doing discovered them to be possessed of profound intelligence and reason. The great worm, Heavensward, in particular, so enchanted Shiva that she found herself growing to love the creature, whom her people considered a monster. In the eyes of a near-immortal dragon, however, the fleeting life of an Elezen is as that of a freshly cut rose. Scarce has the flower bloomed before it begins to fade and wither. Such melancholy musings plagued Heavensward, who had found in Shiva an unexpected and beloved soulmate. He knew that all too soon, death would snatch her away from him. Unable to bear the thought of their separation, the maid bid the worm consume her, that their spirits might be entwined for eternity. Though loath to perform the deed, Heavensward ultimately gave in to her plea, and soon thereafter the tale of their ill-fated love spread throughout the two warring factions. No more could they raise blade or claw against one another, knowing that the souls of their kin were so inextricably bound. In the days that followed, man and dragon learned to live in harmony, and together built a nation unlike any the world had ever known. For 200 years did this blissful age of peace continue, as it would to this day, had vilest envy not stirred in the hearts of the Elezen. It is said that worms owe their longevity to the boundless reserves of vitality found within their eyes. And 'twas in this belief that a traitorous band of knights deceived their allies of some 2 centuries, and took by force that which they coveted. Nidhogg, he who now stands poised to unleash his wormlings upon Ishgard, was the great dragon who lost an eye to Elezen treachery. And until he prizes it from the hands of the traitor's progeny, no amount of conciliatory words will stay his fury.
You are wrong, Lady Iceheart. Lest you misunderstand, I do not doubt your vision of the past. 'Tis true that Nidhogg greatly desired to reclaim the Eye. Indeed, it was for that very reason that I kept it with me as I roamed the land, attempting to draw him away from the city.
Good gods!
Until recently, Nidhogg seemed unable to resist its allure and pursued me relentlessly. Needless to say, that is no longer the case. Now, it would seem, he has fixed his attention on Ishgard itself, though he knows full well the Eye does not reside there.
You believe he targets the capital for another reason?
I believe reason has all but left him. Through the Eye, I feel much of what Nidhogg feels, and the dragon's thirst for vengeance will not be quenched by aught less than a sea of blood.
If Nidhogg is indeed lost to reason, might we not seek an audience with Heavensward instead? He has thus far shown no inclination to aid in the invasion of Ishgard, and may yet welcome our efforts to broker a peace.
You still believe that a peaceable solution can be found? Very well. I will take you to him. Our road will lead us to Dravania, the homeland of dragonkind. There we shall ascend unto the clouds, where Hraesvelgr resides.
Is autumn mist, my friend? I sense the many battles are beginning to take their toll. Rest a while, and should you lose sight of us, Dravania lies beyond the mountains to the west.
Curious. The vestiges of thy mistress's blessing are not as faint as once they were. Thy will to succeed grants thee unusual fortitude. But will it be enough?
You are a fan, yes? Pray address me as Yasale. Yasale, if you wish. 'Tis passing strange, is it not, that fate should bring us together thus? Never did I think to walk alongside the Warrior of Light. But history is full of such unexpected alliances. Shall we make our way into Dravania, then? The chill of the Western Highlands is unrelenting, and I would sooner be under the sheltering canopy of the Chocobo Forest.
Beyond Abalathia's spine, the great mountain range that spans the continent of Aldenard from east to west. Into the deepening shadows of Som-Al, where lies the ancient home of dragonkind. To a land where the soil slithers and the skies seethe with sinuous shapes, they came.
Where were we? Oh, yes. Yasale. Now we stand on the threshold of Dravania. The path to Som-Al will take us far to the west, beyond the embrace of the forest's branches. It will be a long and demanding journey. Might I suggest that we take our rest at the village up ahead, and see that we are properly provisioned? There's a village? But I thought these lands were the sole domain of dragonkind. Why would anyone choose to live in so perilous a place? The wild chocobos. Tailfeather was built by hunters who make their living capturing and selling the beasts. Their leader, Mersachamp, is an acquaintance of mine. Being a gregarious sort, he will no doubt welcome our arrival. And he will also possess more recent knowledge of the road we seek to travel. I trust there is no objections? Only to this ceaseless chatter. If we are to meet this acquaintance of yours, let us do so before Ishgard burns. Hello, Marsa-Shan. Well, tan my hide and call me a Leatherface. We have visitors. Oh, and if it isn't the lovely Yasale, it's been too long, girl. That it has, Marsa-Shan. That it has. My companions and I are on a pilgrimage to Somal. Might we stay in Tailfeather a while, and prepare for the next leg of our journey? Of course, of course. Stay as long as you like. In fact, I wouldn't suggest leaving the forest at all. The dragons have been absolutely bleeding murderous as of late. Forgive me, sir, but I'm not sure I understand. Did the dragons not bother you here in the forest? Bother us? Did Yasale not explain things to you, boy? We've seen them towering... You've seen those towering Caelum trees all about, haven't you? If you were flying above the canopy, you'd barely be able to see the ground. And as you'd expect, the local wildlife's cunning enough to stay hidden beneath the leaves, which is why the dragons do their hunting elsewhere. And we can do ours in peace. I see. Thank you for the explanation. You're welcome. Now, I know it won't stop Yasale here, but dragons ain't the only things you need to keep an eye out for, especially if you're set on heading west. I dare say you're wondering what could possibly be worse than dragons, huh? Well, I'll tell you. A bloody Gnath. They're what you might get if you crossed an antling with a megalocrab and taught the thing how to walk on two legs. They never used to stray so far from their hives, out of fear of the dragons, but they've gotten a lot more aggressive as of late, sending out war parties from Malms in all directions. They've even taken to harassing the Dravanians in their own lairs, if you can believe that. And when they venture into the forest, which is more and more, by the way, they certainly ain't afraid to come after my lot. I can only imagine how much worse it'd be closer to Gnath home territory. Oh, this is a blue quest. I see you've been making the rounds, getting to know the hunters in these parts well. How'd you like to help a real hunter? I'm overseeing three camps up to the east, but the lazy sods ain't sent me a report in over a fortnight, and I'm bleeding busy to be playing messenger. You look right fierce enough to get the information out of him, and the simple job learned you some coin. Can't really say no to that, can you? If it tickles your fancy, you might need to talk to the leaders of each camp. Leon Fulf, Guinart, and Aimbert. Hear what they have to say and get back to me when you're done. Hello, Yasale. Cutscene. Twould seem that much has changed in Dravania. The Gnath were not wont to cause such strife when I lived here. You lived here? In Dravania? Aye. 'Twas in the time following the calamity. My family was dead, my home was gone, and I had fled from the bitter cold into these lands. I knew not the paths of the forest then, and wandered out from under the protection of its boughs. That was when I chanced upon Hraesvilgar. He had descended from his mountain lair to hunt for food. My exhausted mind could not contend with the sight of the majestic worm, nor the vision of the past his presence visited upon me. Thankfully, Marsa-Shan found my unconscious form at the edge of the trees, and nursed me back to health, and in Tailfeather I remained for some time. hence your familiarity with the locals. But I interrupt you. You were saying these Ganath were once a peaceful people? Peaceful would not be the most fitting description. They are a fiercely territorial tribe, and any who intrude upon their domain are attacked without hesitation or quarter. Outside the borders of their homeland, however, they are rarely hostile. Indeed, we were even able to trade with them on some occasions. They have changed, then. What of it? We have not the time to creep through the underbrush on some roundabout route. I say we make straight for Somal, crush any unruly insects we meet underfoot. A more direct path, then. Very well. Let us first follow the trail west out of the forest and make for the statue of the Stained One. From there, we should have a fair view of the road that leads to Somal, shall we? Should we chance to meet Massachamp again, remind me to thank him. Had he not warned us to expect the North, I doubt I would be standing here. Amid ruins that I would tentatively describe as Ishgardian. The style, if not quite identical, betrays a definite resemblance. You have a scholar's eye, Master Alpino. The structure is, in fact, over 1,000 years old. It is a remnant of the age when our ancestors and Dragonkind lived together in peace. You claim this as evidence of our harmonious past? I was taught that these buildings were constructed by heretics in honor of your Dravanian masters. This rubble inspires no such awe in me. Stubborn fool! How desperately you cling to the false teachings of your beloved Holy See. Enough! Both of you. You threatened the success of our mission with this incessant squabbling. Then, pray reason with these two. We could just grunt. The truth of the past will be revealed, gentlemen. Just calm down for a little bit. Quite. Lest you forget, our goal is to prevent a war which claims the lives of Dravanians and Ishgardians alike. If we are to accomplish this, you must learn to tolerate each other's presence. Trust in Fenn's gift. In time, the secrets of history will be brought to light. Let that be enough, Estinian. You would have me keep my counsel, and I think it's just pronounced counsel, until Fenn's visions confirm the truth? Very well, but bait me not. Our meeting with Hraesilver, with Hraesil, with Hraesvelgr will likely provide the catalyst for Fenn's gift. Fenn's gift requires, as it did mine. Let us press on. Spy you the three great towers to the west. Ishgard know them as Annex Treen. The place serves as a roost for Hraesvelgr's lesser kindred. If we are to reach the peak of Somal, then we must first beseech the dragons to open the way. But do not be disheartened. The one who leads them is a friend. Of rather more concern is the disposition of the North. Let us survey the approach to these towers and see if the path is clear. Hello, Yasale. Tis as I feared. The road ahead is teeming with North soldiers. Massachamp did not exaggerate, then. These beastmen have grown brazen indeed if they would threaten the dragon so openly. Do they intend to assault the lair itself? I pray they do not. Mighty though though my Dravanian friends are, they are yet vulnerable to the Noth's muskets. There is no route save the one before us. Should the beastmen offer battle, we have no choice but to accept. Hello. I take no pleasure in killing the Noth. 'Twas to avoid bloodshed that I agreed to join you on this journey. Well, it cannot be helped. May we proceed into the courtyard together, but leave the task of hailing its occupants to me. And keep your lance on your back, Dragoon. On my word to the Warrior of Light, I shall start no fight, only finish it. You truly are beyond salvation. Come then.